hours according to YouTube. Marvel released another trailer for Black Widow, and I'm understanding that this is the final trailer. So let's see how it goes. You know, play. My phone doesn't like connecting to the TV.
You don't know everything about me.
No, we don't.
I've lived a lot of lives.
I mean, you're the Black Widow.
Avenger. Before I got this family, I made mistakes. Choosing between what the world wants you to be.
Really? You had to show this?
And who you are.
Bro! Marvel, you hate us. I swear you guys do. Oh, it's White Widow.
Back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our
It
rules.
wasn't real.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything.
Bring her home.
She's such a mom.
You're such a mom. Yeah, that was a cool transition. God, I love Marvel's editing.
One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.
That makes two of us. Yo, I just realized, oh, that's clever. Sorry, I'm learning title sequences in class, and I just realized that title sequence, the way it came in through the clouds, it's almost like combining not only that smoke effect, but also the White Widow to the Black Widow. Because like she wears that white costume, and then she wears the black costume. Sorry, title sequences. I'm a film student, excuse me. And I'm going to keep saying that until I'm no longer a film student, and then I'm going to cry and be like, I'm an ex-film student. But you know, I like that transition from the car blowing up and then having her jump out the plane. I need to know who Marvel's editors are so I can learn from them. Though I've been told I should really look at Australia's film editors because we're just as awesome. And I have learned that. Sort of. Anyway, so this is the final Black Widow trailer, and I clearly talked the whole thing of it and didn't pay attention at all. And this is another July beauty. When does she come out? Is she going to be a birthday present? Marvel used to do a thing, before COVID hit, Marvel used to do a thing where their movies would come out on my birthday. And it was the coolest thing ever. What? She's not even... That is rude. That is entirely rude. So my cinemas don't have it. So you have stuff for next year, but you don't have... Ew. You guys suck. Says July, but my app for the movies don't have it on. Rude. Anyway, so like I said, I clearly wasn't paying attention to the trailer because I was talking the whole time. So I think I've said this about the other Black Widow ones. You know, I get it. You stopped. Now shut up. Sorry, I can't close that door because there's a lot of stuff that I just don't want to move. But I find Black Widow a very fascinating character, and the fact that this trailer shows the fact that she's now found her family in the Avengers, the fact that she's flash forwarding, she's telling it, I know, it's kind of like a backstory. I mean, obviously it's a backstory, you dumbass, but it's telling it in a way that, you know, she knows that the Avengers are her family. She knows she sacrificed herself, which is why Marvel really drove in on home that death of Black Widow with Hawkeye. Thanks, guys. But, like, she's wanting to do this on her terms, even though it's, like, a decade too late, and I'm very mad at Marvel for doing that. But I feel like there's a reason. Like, I don't think Widow's movie would have worked. And I know I'm saying this now, but I feel like Black Widow's movie wouldn't have worked when the boys had their movies out. I feel like her having her story now, even though it's a decade too late, it actually feels much needed because like now her arc's completed. We can do this properly. We can flesh her out with the details that we already know, but then also show details that we clearly didn't know. And now I'm really concerned. So we all know that Natasha Romanoff is supposed to be Russian, but she doesn't have a Russian accent. Everyone else in the freaking trailer has a Russian accent except for her. So does that mean she's managed to put onto all these aliases and lose her accent? Or is it just the fact that Scarlett Johansson doesn't know how to do a Russian accent? Anyway, it's just a thing. It's starting to bug me now because I'm like, in that trailer, everyone had an accent except for her. And I find it very interesting. Like, I think from my perspective, and I think watching a character like Black Widow, I mean, I know I'm not her, but I can see a lot of personal things, elements in it. Like when she says, I'm done running from my past, I'm like, 2021 is the year that I start running from my past and confront my demons. Not that I really want to, cause trauma. But like, she's now giving me a reason to like push forward. Total segue into personal stories. Not right now, that's what my other stuff's for. But I find it quite interesting. I'm curious to see, like, everyone says that the Taskmaster is the bad guy, the antagonist in the Black Widow movies. And from my understanding, everyone said that he mimics people's powers or abilities, which is a pretty cool villain thing to have. Like, only shapeshifters can do that. So is he a shapeshifter? But like, so yeah. But like, does that mean we're gonna get this Hawkeye story involved too? Because like because Taskmaster obviously does arrows, Hawkeye does arrows. So are we gonna have a moment in this where Natasha and Clint are going to meet in this, and we're gonna see how they became who they are before they were Avengers? Because obviously, like from my understanding, Clint brought Natasha in or something like that. Like they've obviously known each other a lot longer before they're Avengers. So I feel like there's that element to it where it's like, it's gonna be revealed that it's Jeremy Renner! Would have been a cool twist, but I can see under all that mask it's a stunt double of whoever it's supposed to be. But I don't know, I'm still hyped because it's Marvel. Yes, it's a decade too late, but I feel like with Natasha's story now over, in the boys' world, she can be herself until Marvel goes, that's it, our 3 movies are done, because she's no longer needed in the group movies. But I also find it interesting to see that if they make, because like Marvel has a thing about making 3 movies of solo characters. If they do 3 movies of Natasha, it could work, potentially. Like, Marvel's smart. They know how they're gonna work their characters. But I feel like doing this way, they're going to reference her in the future, but they're going to do it in a very clever Easter egg way that you're just going to be like, dude, I had to re-watch this to see those Easter eggs. But you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how they play out Natasha's story. It's going to be interesting to see how she went from being this ballerina to an assassin to an Avenger. And I know when Red Sparrow came out, I only recently watched that, guys, and it's not too bad. But I know when Red Sparrow came out, everyone was like, well, this is supposed to be Black Widow, but because Marvel sucks, they don't do it. But yes, I'm gonna watch it, and I think we all are. We're all gonna watch it and compare it to Red Sparrow and be like, this is just Red Sparrow, but Marvel's edition. But you know that even though there's similarities between the two, they're also gonna make it their own. Like, Red Sparrow wasn't her being an Avenger. Red Sparrow was her trying to break free from this ballerina assassin trained thing, because she was a ballerina and then trained to be assassin because she broke her leg. I watched the movie. So the difference being that I don't think Natasha was a ballerina beforehand. I think Natasha was being told that she was a ballerina, but the way that their movements, because they have to be fluid and whatever, my ballerina techniques are really outdated. I did 1 year of ballet. Like I don't know anything. It feels like a very personal video now. It feels less of a trailer reaction and more of a personal story of myself. But you know, I'm curious to see how it goes. I'm curious to see if Black Widow will actually get the 3 movies like the boys have. I'm curious to see how much of her story will be told, not just in this movie, but also in referencing future movies. Because we know that Spider-Man's got his next movie coming out. We know that Hawkeye is getting his TV show. We know that, you know, there's a Thor 4. We know there's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Morbius, we know Doctor Strange. Like, at one point, Marvel is going to be clever and put Easter eggs in there, but how much of it? Even though Widow's story is done, is it going to be one of those things that you need to have a Marvel marathon and watch, and then go back and be like, you guys are smart. And I can guarantee you that when this movie comes out, I'm going to do exactly that. And I'm going to be like, these are all the Black Widow references I missed the first billion time watching it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm running out of voice right now. It's very good of me. It's one of those days. It's great. It's the Easter weekend, guys. I worked all weekend. It was fun. Not recommended, but money. Whew. Who needs money? But you know, I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, you know, Marvel, I trust Marvel with their characters. Even though every time I say this, and I mean every single time I say this, you know, I've never read comic books, particularly Marvel and DC comic books. But I trust how Marvel is going with their universe. I trust the fact that they're introducing Black Widow this late in the game, but I feel like there's a reason. Like, watching Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, watching their stories play out, Black Widow wasn't a huge influence in them. It wasn't really until, like, Avengers came along that we really saw Natasha flourish. Yeah, she was in Iron Man, but, like, enough for us to know who she is, but not enough for us to go, I gotcha. I can see you having your own movie. It wasn't until Avengers where we were all like, hey, like, she's trying to push to the front line, but it's a boys club. And, like, the fact that she's the only female in these movies until, when I say until Civil War, but I feel like it's before then. It's until Age of Ultron. So, I feel like there's a reason Marvel took their time. And now I want to know, Marvel, why did you take so long making a Black Widow movie? Like, there's a reason. Because I know you guys aren't dumb. It's a whole reason why we're sucking into your universe. But, like, what's the secret? Like, why did you wait a decade for this woman to finally have her own solo movie? And are you also going to make a 3-parter? Because we know that with the boys you did 3 movies, except Thor broke that thing by having 4, because I don't know why. I feel like we were robbed, but fine. Everyone's arc ended in Endgame except for Thor's. Whatever, we'll find out what happens. So yeah, I'm excited for Black Widow. I have to go now search the internet for when she's released in Australia, because my phone and the app that I use is refusing to tell me. It's really disappointing. But the trailer says July, so I'm hopeful that it's going to be another nice July movie marathon for me. Because like Space Jam and Suicide Squad are all around July, August. Yeah, I'm going to leave on that note. That's like a 15-minute video already. I'm very good at rambling. That's what I do. It's why I type rather than speak. But yeah, no, I'm going to leave it at that, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye!